الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Islamic Rules and Regulations, Islamic Ahkam, and today we are talking about the things which makes fasting void. The topic we are going to talk about is specifically staying on janabah until the dawn azan. Post coital, uncleanness is being called janabah. So staying on it is one of the things which makes fasting void. So sometimes the person whose duty is to make ablution or maybe making tayammum, as we explained before, now he or she does not make ghusl or tayammum and stays until the dawn adhan. What is the rule and ahkam for his or her fasting? In these cases, ulama says, if he or she stays unpurposely until the adhan, so for fasting of Ramadan and the compensation of Ramadan, his or her fasting will be void. But for other fasting is not. That's okay. And he makes ghusl and ablution and continues. But sometimes he or she forgets to make ablution and ghusl. Now what he or she do in this case? For example, she reminds after, for example, 1 or 2 days later. We see that exactly if it is the fasting of Ramadan or compensation of Ramadan. So she has to compensate it again. It means that it makes it void and should compensate it later, make it out later. But if this is the fasting of, other, things like, for example, nadr or something like this, or for example, recommended fasting. No, it isn't. It doesn't make any problem for the fasting. Fasting is okay and does not need to compensate it in future. Now, we are talking about a person who knows that if he or she, go to sleep, cannot wake up on time for the ghusl or for ablution before dawn adhan. Ulama say that he or she has to stay awake. Now, if she or he goes to bed and sleeps, and then he couldn't, wake up on time for ablution and ghusl, it makes fasting, batil, makes it void, and also he or she should pay penalty, should pay the religious atonement for it, and also should compensate that day of fasting later on. So that will be all for this part of the period. Thanks for being with us. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.